Good morning, I'm Sharaad Kuttan and welcome to BFM's Morning Headlines. Now there's something that's not covered in any of the newspapers, but I think it's big news. The news that really should be on one of the front pages of our newspapers is the fact that former Election Commission chairperson Abdul Rashid Abdul Rahman joined PERCASA. Yes, he joined PERCASA. This was the man who was, for many years, responsible for free and fair elections in this country. And what is he reported saying? Well, he says this land has always belonged to the Malays. He joined PERCASA apparently, and this is one of the reports in the internet-based media, to keep the dominant Malay community in power. Now that's a little troubling. Moving right along, The Sun, Unity Push. National Unity Consultative Council given 6 months to work on formula for peace and harmony. Interesting, the government's continually establishing new committees and such, all with higher purpose, and I think nobody would argue with the objectives. The question is, do we really need another committee? And a committee, apparently, that's going to be working in secret. So the Star gives you details, it's page 6, Unity a must to build a nation. Kind of motherhood statements that mean nothing in some real sense. What we want to know, what are the institutions and are they independent that will ensure that the country is democratic and that it promotes unity. Now we have a list here of 27 people who joined the president and deputy president in establishing this council. Apparently they have been chosen because they have experience, expertise and objectivity. One of the unusual names here is Mujahid Yusuf Rawa, who is from PAS. He is an MP. Also interesting additions is Lim Chi Wee. He is the former Bar Council president. Much more interesting and rather surprising for those of us who are not part of the Malay pop culture world is Wardina Wilmot. She, of course, is an actress. People will know her from Spanajaya. She's also very famous for the tudung she created, the Wardina Tudung. Okay, and it's been explained to me what it did was she took the cloth, which is called kain bawa, which is shaped like a pomfret, and what she did was she draped it across her torso in a way that increased modesty. But does that make her the right person to be on the National Unity Consultative Council? I don't know. She does have over 850,000 Twitter followers. Now that makes her perhaps very influential in her demographic. I think the demographic is probably youth or older men who like young women. I don't know, but that's all very possible. She's an interesting choice. We'll keep you informed about whether this council, which has been given 6 months to hammer out a formula to enhance unity in the country. Moving right along, The Star has a story about the mastermind behind theft, auto theft, and that's the man. His name is Robin Hai. He's out of the country, and the Malaysian police have solicited the help of Interpol to catch him. An important question that Berita Harian asked that's related to this is enforcement weak, or are we looking at a situation of corruption when 12,000 vehicles are stolen and smuggled out of the country every year? So, interesting question that Berita Harian poses. Now, Sina Harian also has kind of a follow-up to the events of the weekend, which is the PAS Muktamar, its General Assembly. It says, Jangan tangguh, don't delay the discussion, the muzakara between UMNO and PAS. Now, you gotta be very clear. UMNO has been talking about Malay unity. PAS here is actually talking about Islam, and the muzakara is not just a discussion, it's a discussion among religious scholars. Apparently, the muzakaras have been offered, but PAS always has a list of criteria before it begins one of these things, and thus far, UMNO has never been able to fulfill those criteria, so talks have never in fact happened. The Malay Mail has alerts us to the problems of paintball guns. Apparently this plaything is and can be lethal. What's interesting is, if you look at the front page here, it actually tells you how you can make it more lethal. So currently these guns use carbon dioxide, but if replaced with nitrogen, it adds velocity and it comes deadly. So this is a how-to there, right on the front pages of the Malay Mail. Also a little story that follows up on the MyCard situation, if there are moves now to penalize people more heavily for losing their MyCards. Talking about penalization, we have here an attempt by the police in Ipoh. There's a new operasi, Ops Chantas Khas Traffic, attempts to screen motorists and hand them outstanding warrants of arrest if they haven't been paying up their fines, and also to kind of inhibit them from going faster. Utusan Malaysia goes with an international story, and this is of course the troubles in Thailand. If you go to Current Affairs podcast, we have an interview with a Thai journalist that tells you exactly what's precipitated this turmoil. But never too far. Utusan pursues Anwar Ibrahim, this time still on the question of the claim that 40,000 Bangladeshis were phantom voters. They recruit former associate of Anwar Ibrahim, Esna Lakarupan, to weigh in on the matter. Clearly an interesting choice. Finally, Metro. What does it have? More domestic violence on the front pages of Metro. There you have it. A bad husband and a bad son. He's threatening to blow his parents up, and he just beats up on his wife. And more pretty people involved in expensive weddings. So that's all we have for you this morning. I'm Sharaad Kuttan. You've been listening to BFM Morning Headlines on BFM 89.9.